It is time for the finals here at the HCL. We have another best of 5 series, and this time it is El Nexo, the Spanish Armada, and they go up against Gamers2, the ex-3D Max squad. So this is going to be a really nice match that we're seeing here. It is a best of 5 series, and of course we hope that it goes all the distance with 5 maps. One of the things that puts a bit of a damper on the whole issue is that after today, El Nexo is not going to disband, but they're going to lose 2 of their players. AlastOr and LoLvsxD are going to leave the team and need to be replaced. So a bit unfortunate for El Nexo fans, but at least today they have an opportunity to crown their legacy with another victory here in the league and win the finals and therefore the HCL. We're going to jump into map number 2 to find out if here on Sky Temple it is El Nexo who takes the lead or if it is Gamers2 that will win the first map.
Alright everybody, welcome to the first game here, the HCL, the Grand Finals, the best of 5 series between Gamers2 and El Nexo. Gonna jump right into the game and have a quick look at those heroes, especially of course at the compositions that we're running for the teams. So the left side starts the Polish team. It is Gamer2, the former 3D Max squad, with Rega, Tyrande, Chen, Nezebo and Tazada being played as their lineup. And to the right side of the map in red, it is El Nexo, the Spanish Armada, with a bit of a vanilla comp with double tank, double DPS, and also a single healer. We're having Chen together with, sorry, not Chen, but ETC together with Stitches. We're seeing as the DPS Sergeant Hammer and Vala, and as the healer it is Uther. The comp that we're seeing for El Nexo, I personally actually like it quite a lot, just because we have so much synergy between the heroes there. Stitches and ETC are heroes that you oftentimes see together if the teams get them through the picks and bans, just because you can hook in a target and then you go for the power slide and face melt. You try to just make sure that your opponent stays in range of your DPS heroes to do a lot of damage and maybe drop the target immediately. Uther helps out with that too, since he can go for that additional stun and then later on has the Divine Storm at his disposal. And of course with those 2 DPS heroes that rely a lot on their right clicks, or in the case of Vala on multi-shot to a certain extent, you have a lot of damage and sustained damage at that doesn't really rely on heroic ability to be executed perfectly. Then again, when you're looking to the Polish team, I'm not quite sure what exactly the idea is. I really do not like that we're having Chen as their tank in this case. The problem that they were facing is that ETC and also Stitches were already picked, but the Chen has offer very little synergy to Nezebo, which will have to provide a lot of the damage for the team. And I think this is a bit counterproductive to have the Wandering Heck in there and the opponent's team when you're trying to get all of them with a Ravenous Spirit. But well, time will tell. Hook already against Leo from Korea. Leo in trouble, and that's exactly what we've been talking about. The synergy between Stitches and ETC is showing here. And maybe Leo with another hook, he could go for it. The cooldown should be ready any second right now. He's already getting in position, but you can see how 3D Max, aka Gamers2, is already struggling a lot here. They lost the first hero, they are losing their temple as well, the hook from LoLvsxD not hitting there. And at this point we're having El Nexo just controlling the temple, at least here at the bot lane. Yova is already in trouble, but it is a 5 versus 3 in the mid now with AlastOr and LoLvsxD moving in once again. They're trying to go for it. Shaihu is very low, and the Panda just barely getting away, gets hooked again, and maybe even dropped. No. AlastOr doesn't have the range on the multi-shot just yet to drop him. He has taken composite arrows in level 1, but that was not enough to get Chen in this case. LoLvsxD is very, very low. AlastOr needed to move back now as well. The last few shots end up in the hands of Polish team, so they've been doing this pretty decently, at least at the end of the battle. But the problem for them still is that they are behind in experience, and the top temple has not been touched yet. We have a double healing ward for the Polish team, and that helps them of course a lot. We're triple actually, with 1 healing totem on Rega, another healing ward on Tyrande, and we're seeing the healing ward on Tazada as well. Maybe even a bit of an overkill there. Oftentimes you see teams go for 2 healing wards and 1 protective shield instead. Since triple healing ward, they don't stack, so it's always tricky to really use them. You have to really communicate extremely well to get the best out of it. Now, so far, we're actually seeing them in a very good position here on the temple, and LoLvsxD is dying to this. They overextended, they were just like too low in HP, trying to fight that regardless. Good stun against Vortex, but they are able to move away. And suddenly, it is Gamers2 who are able to dominate that temple here. So the early game definitely ending up in their favor, after it looked a bit rough at the beginning. They were able to take this so far, and now they should take a slight lead in experience, but we're having the rotations on the map with Vortex now moving in to claim the mid lane. Of course, Jorve is already his counterpart here, as at the bottom lane it is Chen versus Lucifron. The late game, the late mid game, that's what's going to become extremely interesting here. But right now, with the early level 7, or the earlier level 7 for Gamers2, we should actually be in a position where the bottom temple then will be captured by the Polish team with a level 10 ability, and that's of course always tricky when you are going up against them. The Spanish team has to be careful with this one now. We're having Mule taken on the side of Tyrande too instead of the Aura or Battle Momentum, which makes a lot of sense on a map like Sky Temple, since you want to have something to heal those structures up. It's always a great talent to take if the objectives on the map attack these structures directly, which is the case of course here. We have Static Charge, Gitbin, Brewmaster's Balance and Earth Shield taken, with both of the teams angling now towards the siege camps, going for the two of them. Cleanse taken on Luther on level 7, First Aid on Sergeant Hammer, Battle Momentum on Vala, and we're seeing a Gita Hero here on level 7, as well as Tenderizer on Stitches, who went for a full sustain build, with not only Chuya food, but also going straight for the for amplified healing. And yeah, I'm still very curious. I mean, so far we have a kill for kill and a slight experience lead on the side of Gamers2, and on especially this map. This is of course great, but I'm very, very interested to see how this is going to work out for the Polish team regarding the drafts. What they definitely have, and what might also be the idea behind that strategy and that combat they're running, is an early game advantage just because of those 3 healing wards already. I mean, that alone is going to give them a lot of sustain here. But I feel once that the level 10s hit, it's going to be extremely tricky to do anything here. Oh, Shaihu gets pushed away. If Chen dies right now, that would be the worst case scenario. He's getting pushed back. The temple is activating soon, and they're really trying to get Chen, but they won't be able to do that in time. And so it's nearly level 10. And, well, I don't know how to say it, but Nexo will not be able to fight here against the level 10. They should abandon. They should move back and soak lanes instead, because they won't be able to win a fight against the level 10 of their opponents. And their temple already taken, but Vortex, he needs to hit those thrusters, and he needs to hit them hard. There comes the barrel, and yeah, that is basically suicide what he just did there. Extremely bad move by Vortex. That was very much predictable. And yeah, he's going to die for nothing. So Vortex dies, moves back too late, got greedy. There's level 10 now, but well, with this they can't do anything since they have to wait for Vortex. So in this case, misplay by Nexo, and against the 10 you cannot go into the temple. It's a death trap. It's plain and simple. It's a death trap. You don't get away, and with the 10 we hit the Wandering Kek, and they're pushing them back. So Leo and his team, they were doing quite well in that last fight. It was an easy one for them, of course, and now they have the entire temple controlled. That means also that we're having Shai going up against Grand Paquette in the mid, since they're just like trying to soak some experience. Chen is back now, so they can finally start and go for a fight, but LoLvsxD doesn't have the well support anymore. It's very, very low, goes away with the Pubric Bile, and gets just barely healed. Here comes that ult though from Nika, and down goes Chen and Grand Paquette. Vortex dies as well. I am not a fan from what Nexo did there. They really screwed it up. I mean, what happened there was Vortex getting greedy when the temple was up. He gets trapped, he gets killed, they cannot attack, they don't have the level, they soak experience, and Stitches is the one who's trying to defend the fort over here. He loses the well, so he cannot take well, and he is extremely low when finally Vortex on his Sergeant Hammer is back in the game. Moves in, and with him not having any heal, not really having the cooldowns, he moves into the fight, gets nearly dropped immediately, is trying to rush away. They fight a 5 versus 4 with being at a status advantage, and they never really got any kind of setup in that fight, so that was a complete suicide mission what we saw there. Not a fan. I'm really not sure what they are doing here, but that is not looking good. I feel that their draft is much better, but if they played like this and always fight with the 4 versus 5 situations, or get like a hero picked off at the beginning of the fight without the opponent even having to make an effort, well, then it's of course not gonna work. Level 13 talents are now ready for the Polish team, and I mean, they are happy about this. They're saying like, boys, this couldn't get any better for us. We dropped the bot keep already, or the bot fort already. We're taking down the middle. We have a talent lead. We are nearly 2 levels ahead of our opponent. We're having even Tyrande. I'm not really sure what you should take on level 13 now, apparently. Not going for Lunar Blaze just yet. We're having also Dimensional Shift Tyrants taken on Tacita. We're seeing Relentless, Sprint, and Feral Lunge. And Nexo, I mean, they have to get their act together. by having them with the Stage Dive, with Rain of Vengeance, Divine Storm, Napalm Strike, and Putrid Bile. All of talents that make a lot of sense, and now they might be able to take a fight there. I mean, it's still a talent disadvantage that they have, and they're trying to make up for that with Stitches at the top lane, but the bottom temple is the one that they want to fight at. They have still, well, one of the heroes isn't here yet, Nika that is, and they also don't have ADRD up here at the top. Lucifon is trying to get the experience, but they take position in the temple already, still at the talent disadvantage. LoLvsxD is waiting, the 13 talent is going to be there any second. Lunar Blaze now taken, and there's 13. They need to take it, they need to take it fast, and they did, and in comes ETC. ETC jumps in, and the Ravenous Spirit already interrupted, but we still have the Starfall going strong. They're starting to move in against this. Not really the best setup, but it's better than before. They lose Vala way too early though, and they might be able to kill Yova and ADRD, but no they don't, and Stitches dies. Grand Paquette is about to drop as well, heals himself in the last second, and Lucifon pushes them away. There comes also the rest of the Polish team, and yeah, this is just, from the point of view of Nexo, this is an absolute disaster what's happening. 15 against 13, that's the levels right now. Temple at the bot lane is taken. Stage Dive, maybe just a bit too late to come into that fight. If you depend on a comp that is really running with a double tank and double DPS, the idea is always to shield your DPS with a double tank, having them always in a position where you just create some space for Vala and for Sergeant Hammer, and so far we haven't seen that. That last fight setup, I mean, it was better than the one before, but also that's not very difficult. And yeah, they were already in the middle of the battle when ETC finally came in, and ETC kind of jumped the backline. And well, right now the temple at the top is activated. It's a 3-level lead right now for the Gamers2. We're having Earth Grasp Totem, Shooting Star, Pressure Point, Specialized Toxins, and Second Strike taken. And it looks like at least this temple is going to end up in the hands of Nexo. So the Spanish Armada, they are going to lose 2 players after today. They already announced that, so I guess that's probably the team, well, harmony, if you so want. Team morale is not the best at this point. LoLvsxD and AlastOr are going to lead the team, and Nexo will continue. We'll have to pick up 2 more players. Right now they're still fighting in the finals here at the HCL. Oh, and Yova is being attacked there. Here comes Nika with his ult. And yes, that stun puts it actually in grasp a bit, but still didn't really do a whole lot here. But of course the idea was to grab the camp, and they got that. Suddenly it's a double hard camp at the top lane. It's pushing a double bruiser camp. They are pushing that in hard, and as you can see, yep, there it is. 1 tower down, 2nd tower about to disappear. 3-level lead still, and Stitches is being taken. Shaihu is jumping in, and Nexo is completely falling apart right now. Healing wards everywhere, Starfall taken, they keep being attacked. 11, 12 minutes into the game, and the Polish team is just mercilessly pushing against Nexo right now. AlastOr, Lucifon, and Grand Paquette, they are only playing a 4 versus 5 here with a talent disadvantage. Vortex is again in trouble, activates the thrusters to get away, but the fate of the keep up here at the top is sealed, of course. The keep is down, and with all of those structures already eliminated and only the keep still in place, that of course also means that we are going to see the temples being so much more effective right now for the Polish team. They will be able to just like take temple after temple and push the rest of the keeps in as well. Sky Temple is a pretty snowbally map. We have Leo, Nika, ADRD, and Yova just rotating through the camps, taking those. Didn't really try and steal the camp over here to the right side. Shaihu actually is moving in right now, but AlastOr is already there, so we should be able to push him back. But it's still 18 versus 15. That lead in levels is insane! And it's the talent, of course, as well. In kills, we have 11 kills against 1, and here they're being attacked again, and jumping away. Nika gets his ult off perfectly, pushes everybody away. Without that 16 talent, fighting here is very difficult, if not suicidal, and that level advantage is of course another problem. It's not only the talent that you are missing, it is those stats. I mean, this is like currently we're having 5,000 hit points on Chen, just to give you an example. Stitches is currently 400 hit points behind that, and he's supposed to be the more tanky hero. With all that map presence that we are seeing, they're going straight for the boss, capturing that out as well. They have the temple at the bot lane, and that temple is starting to put the pressure right at the keep. The boss should be able to finish the job. They're soaking experience wherever they can, and that's the only thing that Nexo can do, praying and trying to soak EXP as much as possible. They have the 16 talents now with a hard-end focus already taken on Uther. Still going for talents like also the interrupts on Stitches, which will help against Nazebo. They have a few interrupts with ETC and also, of course, with Uther there. But there goes the keep. That's the second keep that they lose, and in the mid lane they're losing a few more structures as well. The boss is already moving straight towards that core, and yeah, the move up at the top, Lucifron, does he have ult? He might have to jump away with ult. Nah, not really. The rest of the team is not there, he's not in position yet, so he should be good. Yeah, just rides away into the sunset, I guess. And yeah. So Chaihu, Yoa, IDRD, Leo from Korea at the top, and Nika is starting to come up to the top lane as well. The damage, as you can see here, 30,000 on Sergeant Hammer, 31,000 on Vala. Pretty decent damage in general, but they did not get the kills in. You could see it at those fights that we saw, one at the bot temple and one even before up at the top. They were dropping those heroes in hit points really fast, but they never really got the killing blow in, and that of course makes you lack the experience as well. Oh, they are already sitting back at home, and nah, okay, they were waiting for the creep waves, I guess. I was for a second really thinking they gave up here. I mean, they are extremely far behind, but... sorry. They are extremely far ahead. For a second, like, I switched the colors in my head. Like, I don't know how that happened. But yeah, they were apparently waiting for the waves. Not quite sure what the idea was there from the Polish team. Not also sure why I mixed up the two teams, but yeah. I'm a bit blown away how this game goes, to be absolutely frank with you. Because the comp, I still stick with it. The comp is much better for El Nexo, but if you play it like that, well, of course they're not gonna win that. It started with that weird move by Vortex at the bot temple, continued with LoLvsxD Stitches move, and from then on it's just snowballed out of their control. This time maybe the comeback, is that the hook that they needed? Here comes the ult from Nika, and they're jumping in. Down goes Rhaegar. They lost the healer. Lucifron is getting low. Healing comes too late. Shaihu is going down as well. They finally get a few kills in there. Maybe that's what they needed. Vortex in a bit of trouble, but he still gets that napalm, man. 19 versus 17. They fight on even talents, and oh, Nika is getting extremely low, and he might be blown to pieces as well. Yes, he dies, but LoLvsxD is also not making it. It's still better to lose a hero and kill one if you're this far behind, because you actually get more experience than your opponent thanks to the underdog bonus. The problem is, if you already lost this many structures, then not only is your keep not going to make it, your core is going to be attacked as well if two of the temples go to your opponent. And that is what's happening right now as we speak, since up to the top lane, ADRD is capturing temple number 1, the one in the mid lane is being captured as well. Yep, that's the keep that already went down, and now it's the core being attacked. It's probably not gonna die. Well, actually, it might. If they capture 2 of the temples, it might go down. 3 heroes, they're still missing 3. A bit of damage already done. 75% on it. ADRD maybe getting stunned out. Yes, once, twice. And yeah. He's moving back for now, but there's the healing ward, and he can well up as well. No pun intended. So the temples are currently about to be gone, but of course that core with 71% is very much low already, and the next one more temple is all that they need. They finally dropped one of the keep, one of the forts, one at the top, one in the mid lane, so at least they got that much. But of course they are so vulnerable to anything that the Polish team does now. And they have the level 20. Level 2, they could even go for a right click. I mean, it's 20 against 19. Core is low, not a single keep is alive anymore. Hardened Shield taken, double Storm Shield, Annihilating Spirit and Twilight Archon, and they are gonna start and move in with that. Yeah, this is really tricky. I mean, at this point, I don't know what El Nexo could do. El Nexo needs to win a fight with having a talent disadvantage. In stats, it's not that big of a deal anymore. It's only 1 level in stats, but it's of course the 20 talent that is the important part. And like, Gamers2 doesn't even have to attack. They can just simply wait for a temple, claim 1 temple, and that's all that they need to do. Claim a single temple. They don't even have to go for a team fight. They simply can rotate through the map. If there are 2 or 3 temples activated, they can move from one to the other and can just claim 1, and that's all that they need. That's all that they need to do. But the damage already, they're trying to get the damage against the core. They're trying to finish the game right now. Level 20 is not ready for Nexo yet, but maybe they can somehow get it. That could put them in a position where they could turn things around once more. But now that the boss is on the map, I mean, to be absolutely frank with you, if that boss ends up in the hands of the Polish team, then I guess it's all over. Because then you are in a loss-loss situation as Nexo. You cannot move out to take the temple, but because the boss is going to finish you. But you cannot tank the temple either, because, well, yeah, you cannot defend either, I want to say, because once the temple is taken, you're going to lose that as well. And now we have one temple already, or both of them activating, one in the mid, one at the top lane, and one temple is all that they need. And they can split their forces. They can split their forces, rotate around, they can just barrel down on one of them, it doesn't really matter. As long as they get one of the temples, they're going to be golden. They're going to be absolutely golden, and Tassadar is already on the way. Tassadar is on the way up to the top lane, the temple is activated, they're starting to put pressure onto the mid temple, but this one up at the top, they need to do something against that. And yeah, it's doing the damage. They need to rotate up top, and that's exactly what they're doing. But then that means that the mid lane is suddenly being vacated, and that's exactly where we see the attack from the Polish team. They're moving in already. Shields are nearly gone, but it's a 4 versus 4 down here at the bot lane. We have up at the top Tassadar going for it. In comes Shaiku, trying to get a few more shots, and he could always use the keg as well. There comes Starfall already being used, pushing them low. They're trying to move in. Temple is theirs, and here comes the Ravenous Spirit. 20 versus 20 now, but the core is getting low. With a 20 talent, maybe Nexo can turn it around now. Up at the top, there's another battle happening, and Vortex isn't going to make it, is he? No, maybe! Oh, Nazeebo is already down, but Vortex, he dies as well, and Jove is going to take the temple and finish the game. 53% on the core. Up at the top, Vortex died. As long as Jove stays alive, this game is over. 40% on the core, 30. Here comes Lucifer, 27-24. Jove moves back away. It's 20, and ADRD is in the middle. We have already Leo pushing pressure over here. GG and game, as we're seeing Nexo defeated in game number 1 by Gamers2, who take the 1-0 lead in the best of 5 series.
Game number 1 ends in favor of Gamers2 and Nexo with a bit of an underwhelming performance there. A few mistakes caused them to lose that game. If you play Sky Temple, then of course you know that it is a very snowbally map, and just 1 or 2 mistakes at the wrong time can really cost you that game already. And this is exactly what we saw happening there, as Vortex gets caught out on the temple and drops later on as the fight starts again. Stitches dies immediately. Suddenly it is just Gamers2 who dominate every single temple phase and are able to just put Nexo down without any trouble whatsoever. Very strong game by the Polish team though, and we're going into game number 2, and we're gonna try and find out if maybe the Polish team is able to win another map right away, or if Nexo can recover from the loss that they just suffered, is able to bounce back and win the second map in the best of 5 series here at the HCL finals.
It is showtime at the HCL Grand Final. Gamers2 going up against Nexo again. Map number 2 in the best of 5 series is Garden of Terror. And so far we saw the victory of Gamers2 on map number 1, Sky Temple. Leo from Korea for the team in blue to the left side on Rega in this game. Shaiku on ETC. We have Zeratul played by Jove. Nika on Sergeant Hammer, and ADRD on the Tassadar. To the right side of the map it is the Spanish team. LoLvsxD on Tyrande. We're having AlastOr and LoLvsxD. Those two will leave the team after today, and Nexo will continue with Vortex on Reyna, Grand Paquette on Uther, and Lucifer on Stitches. Those 3 are the core players of the team right now. Of course, they will need 2 more players to join them to make the team perfect 5-man roster. But that's a different story for today. It's all about this one. It's all about the finals. And game number 2, this is actually the match that, well, Nexo can prove them again, themselves again. Because, let's be honest, map number 1, not really what we expect from one of the strongest teams in Europe. Like, they have been called the Spanish Armada and the Spanish Inquisition for a reason. And we saw very little of that in the first game, but maybe game number 2 is where they will once again show their true strength. The problem, of course, for them is that Gamers2 is a very good team as well. I mean, these guys have been doing well in Europe for a long time right now, and the first game just underlined that once more. As you can see here at the top lane, we have the tri-lane with Sergeant Hammer, Leo from Korea, and Yova. To the bottom, that is the tri-lane that we're seeing for El Nexo. And in this case, talking about the heroes a bit, we have the synergy between Stitches, Uther, and Tyrande, and especially in the early game, that is absolutely brutal. It's a deadly composition that you have there. Getting those 3 stuns together is just so damn strong. And they have Nazeebo and Reyna just rounded up with additional DPS. Yeah, there's LoLvsxD already, putting some pressure onto Yova, the Zeratul player in this case. Illidan actually not banned and not picked in this game. And talking about Illidan, about picks and bans, let's focus a bit on the build that we are seeing, or the team composition that we're seeing for the Polish team. They are running with ETC Zeratul, with Hasadar, with Sergeant Hammer, and with Rhaegar. A build that you quite often see with Illidan instead of Zeratul, so that you can jump the back line with a quick metamorphosis, or even more than that, and then ETC goes in with the stage dive. In this case, they just switched out the Illidan with the Zeratul. Oh, that attempt to drop Leo after the hook, but that didn't really work for them. So it's going to be interesting how exactly this is gonna work out at the top lane. If we have those 2 heroes rotate between the top and the mid, if they can maybe like get one of those kills, that would be amazing for the early game, and it is actually what you should aim for if you're running with Stitches and Tyrande. Uther is apparently starting to rotate down at the bottom as well. There he already is, Lucifron. Yeah, well, he doesn't really get any chances just yet to go for another hook attempt. Well, against Yoa he might have a shot, but of course Blink is another problem that he has to deal with. The rotations for the seeds, that's on Garden of Terror, one of those important things. It's really interesting. This is one of those maps where you have, at a certain time, you need to start to abandon the lane experience just for a few seconds. You try to get the small camps at least, and then with the big Garden Terrors, you usually don't start taking those until your opponent is going to try for the same thing. LoLvsxD actually putting a lot of pressure on Tyrande there. Oh, a lot of pressure, and down she goes. And, well, there was no sexual innuendo there. The good lady didn't really make it. So the first blood goes to the Polish team. Very nice move, and that shows exactly why Zeratul can be extremely strong against those low HP heroes. Tyrande and Nazeebo are not going to have a fun time in this game, I can promise you that much. At least not if Yova gets his way. Down to the bot lane, what do we have there? It's Shaihu going up against Vortex. And looking at the builds, we're having so far a pretty normal build for Tyrande taken, with PS taken on 1 and Healing Ward on level 4. More seats claimed at the top, with Stitches going into a full sustain build with Chew Your Food and Amplified Healing. No combo build for him just yet, no hybrid. A lot of seats taken, way too many seats taken currently by the Polish team, and they are trying to get a kill there now as well, but the Singularity Spike, Lucifron, who jumps away and is barely being healed here. On Reyna, we're seeing the current standard build until level 10, where you go for Confident Aim and Revolution Overdrive as your 4 and your 7 talent, and then on level 10, I mean, you have the choice between Hyperion and Reyna's Raiders, but continuing with 13 and 16, you can either go for more of a right-click build or for the penetrating round build, where you really focus on the double Q and also, of course, Bullseye, which is one of the things taken. Looking maybe a bit at the other team, what we are seeing here is also the double first aid on level 7, and this is now where things get really interesting. With both teams having the 7 talent, that bottom terror is the one where they can get a terror, and they get it. The Garden Terror taken. Grandpa Kette about to die. He's getting dropped, and that's the second kill for the Polish team. Vortex just barely surviving here. And of course, now with this many seats taken, Polish team is in a great spot, and they put even more damage onto Lucifron, who misses the hook against Nika, who moves away in the last second. Very well done here. So the Polish team again dominating this game. This time I have to say I like that draft much more than I liked the one in the last game, but even with that inferior draft they were able to take down their opponents. So pretty cool games from them so far. But it feels a bit like El Nexo lost a bit of their spark. They have been struggling a lot more in the past few, I would say, let's say 2-3 weeks. They have been doing not as well as before, and it really showed, which is also one of the reasons why they're currently having lineup changes, I think. And with that in mind, I mean, team morale must be down, and of course that affects a team like this. We're having level 10 now, with the rogue ability is on the side of Gamers2, and they are moving in with the Ancestral Healing, with Napalm, Archon, Mosh Pit taken for ETC in this case, not going for Stage Dive, don't really need that. It's not that jumper comp that you would see with an Illidan, but instead it is Mosh Pit and also Void Prison that they're going for here. Up at the top currently, I mean, right now AlastOr is in position, gathering up additional experience. You have to, of course, to defend against the plant in the mid lane. That's why we have the 3-man rotation. And that is one of those things that you will see in a competitive play like every time. No matter if it's a Dragon Knight or a Garden Terror, once that one of those summonables is moving into a lane, you see a rotation, and you still keep one hero on each lane to get the heartbeat there and the extra experience so that you don't miss out on anything. But with the rest of your team, you're trying to just make sure that the damage is not going to be too much. You're going to try to keep it at a minimum. And so far, what has been dropped were a few of the towers. Nice hook against Yoga, but that is not going to be enough. Even with his blink being in cooldown, he's moving in again, and whoa, oh my god, like, AlastOr is getting very low. Nice heal there. Yeah, AlastOr is getting also his own ult in, but ADRD should be able to get away, and he is with a dimensional shift. So once again, level 12 versus level 10, 2 kills against 0, a very decent lead that we have. Hyperion taken together with Starfall, basically a very similar comp to what we've seen before, and oh my god, like they get actually stunned out there. 13 talent is now available for the Polish team, and they're using it. At the bot lane, we have a massive push with 3 heroes that is starting to put so much pressure onto that first keep. And Nexo, I mean, they are struggling here, aren't they? Distortion Beam on level 13 for Tacita. Vortex is there. And AlastOr, I mean, the whole wall is already gone. They rotate up to the top. The seed count is nearly the same, and Knight is going to fall in just a few more seconds, and that might be the chance for them to get another plant, and maybe even another plant to the opponent. And with them already going for the camps, no, they're not going for the camps. They're trying to get stitches, and they will. They will get stitches. There's nobody to help him. There's nobody to help him. Putrid Bile is being used, but before the healer is going to come into that fight, he is going to die. A 3-level lead. What is going on here? Nexo is getting destroyed. Oh my god, that must be so frustrating for them. Dominating Europe for months, and then suddenly everything just like everything just like goes absolutely south for them. They are close, not really disbanding, but losing 2 players is always a big problem, and I think that is currently breaking their neck. This is must be horrible for them. I mean, you can really see that they don't even go for seats, really. They are currently right over here, like, gathering up. They still are 1 talent short. We're having Uber Rockstar taken, Feral Lunge at the top. There's more seats claimed, and there's also Wormhole now. They might actually be able to at least get the seats here, and that's not going to give them enough for a plant. It's going to be close. But yeah, if the Polish team takes the plant up at the bottom and all of the seats that are currently available here, then there will not be a plant for Nexo. And that would be the worst case scenario. And they're starting to move in, but the plant is of course moving over. The Garden Terror is on the way, and it is already that battle. Here comes Nexo, desperately trying to get the last 16 seats that they need, and they will probably get them, but here comes the move. Is it going to be ETC? Lets them dance! He lets them dance, and Vortex is getting dropped. They have a plant growing, but they lose Vortex, they lose AlastOr, and they might lose a lot more than that. LoLvsxD on his Tyrande. Does he have a chance to escape here? I do not think so. Not with him missing the stun. He's trying to get away, but the Wolf is gonna take him down. Yes, no chances here for LoLvsxD. Down he goes. The Feral Lunge taking him out. More seats taken. They barely got a plant, and now we have Yova already in position straight in the mid lane, going for the kill here. This is brutal. If you are a Spaniard, boys, I just please don't watch what's going on screen here, because you will start to cry, and I would not blame you. This is brutal. This so far has been not a good day for Spain. And Poland is, of course, I mean, they are exhilarated right now. Poland is doing extremely well. They're very close to winning the finals here today. We're having 16 versus 13, the 16 talent with imposing presence, and they're just moving in. We're 10 minutes into the game. The bottom wall is gone at the keep, and in the middle they might be able to grab this one. Nika yes, the keep is gone, and Grand Paqueta is rushing in a bit too late to really save it. Maybe they are able to make something happen here, but Vortex is about to drop out of the plan now too, and now with 16 versus 13, we cannot really win this game. This is brutal. I really feel sorry for Nexo at this point. I'm not quite sure how much team practice they've been having since the decision was made that they will continue with only 3 players of the original lineup, but this is not looking good. And of course, yeah, there's the kill against Uther. I mean, for Gamers2, this is a perfect... This is like a perfect day. The first map was an easy one to win for them. They got that kill, they got the lead in the best of 3 series, and map number 2 is looking absolutely... it's perfect. It's really fantastic. A fantastic position for them to be in, and they just need to make sure that they don't throw here. But we have now double-barreled taken on Reyna. At the bot lane, we even saw one of the Siege Giants move in. You can see that even the well is already quite low in HP. The top lane fort has now been taken out too. So far, there have a few towers have been dropped, but that's all that Nexo was able to achieve in this game, and the tower is only at the top lane. The Spanish Armada is sinking. It has been sailing for a long time and taking down opponents everywhere, but now it's apparently out of steam. The winds have changed, and they are blowing hard against the Spaniards. Suddenly, yeah, I guess the only Spanish team that is really able to hold up the tradition and the strong legacy is going to be LDLC. Unless, of course, Nexo finds 2 players and are able to get back on track, because right now that is definitely not what we are used to see from them. But of course, I don't want to discredit what the Polish team is doing here. They are doing everything right. They are not allowing any mistakes, and they are claiming the victory. It's not that it's only Nexo not playing on the top level that we're used from them. It's at the same time also a nearly flawlessly playing Polish team that does not allow mistakes, that punishes everything that goes wrong for Nexo. They're always there when an opportunity arises. They pounce and they take it, and they are looking at a great spot. They're trying to move in from the side. They're actually... What are they doing? They're laying a bit of a trap there. They're having Yova still in position, and they go straight for the middle. They're trying to drop Tyrande, and they get her. Tyrande is in a bad spot. Gets the Starfall off, but that's another kill here. 9 kills against 0. And, well, Spain is begging for mercy. Seats on the map, and at the worst time it's a 4 versus 5. Here we go, seats taken again, and right now we need 100 seats for Nexo to get a plant. So what we're most likely going to see here is 2 plants in a row for Gamers2. And Gamers2 with 2 plants in a row would be unstoppable here. The 16 talent is finally there, with 13 and 16 talents on Stitches going for Mega Smash and Pulverize. But still, there's also the Bullseye taken, Hardened Focus, Ranger talent, and there we have Specialized Toxins. The thing that I am afraid of most is if this game does not change, if this is not the start of a comeback, then I'm very much afraid that the 3rd game is going to be a disaster as well, because put yourself in the position of Nexo. You've been doing so well for so long, and suddenly you lose the first 2 maps. Are you really able to bounce back and start a comeback? I'm not sure. Oh, ETC with the ult against 2 gets stunned out though, and we have Hyperion chosen. Shaiku is nearly dead, but he gets healed by the Ancestral Healing. ADRD already with his own ult. There comes the Void Prism, and they take position around it. They want to drop both of them, and they're gonna go straight in. Yova gets nearly stunned, but blinks away. Vortex is dead. There goes Stitches. They're going straight for Uther now into the right side. It is Nika trying to drop either AlastOr or LoLvsxD. They're not going to get it, but they're going to get Grandpaquette up at the top. He's doing whatever he can, but, well, good old Uther. He is an old guy. That old geezer is not going to get away there. Down he goes. 12 kills against 0. And at this point in time, we can only beg for mercy and hope that, Gamers2 is finishing it soon, because this is a slaughter. This is a bloodbath. This is not pretty. I mean, there are so many states in the world where this isn't legal. Leo from Korea, they are starting to move in. They want to finish it. Shaiku is on the way. And, yep, this should be the end. 35 seconds on Tyrande, 15 on Uther. It's a 3 versus 5 right now, and they are trying to end the game here. This is a mercy and nothing else. Well, Leon already need to be careful, but there comes the Ancestral Healing. Can they drop maybe bots? Yes, they can, and they do. They're going for the Obama move. Yes, we can, and can they end the game? I guess they can do so too. Here comes another desperate ultimate by AlastOr, but the game is over. Game number 2 ending in favor of the Polish team. Gamers2 takes the 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series at the HCL final.
Wow, things are not looking good for Nexo right now, are they? Gamers2 is playing an incredible best of 5 series and they win the second map in a row. They take map number 2 and now the next map is going to be Sky Temple once again. LL Nexo really has to step it up now. At this point they are struggling and you can really see that there might even be a bit of a psychological problem happening right now with them already knowing that 2 of their team members will leave after the finals today. Gamers2 on the other hand, they are mercilessly taking every opportunity that they get to get ahead in those matches, and so they should. They play an incredible match so far, and let's find out on map number 3, which is going to be Sky Temple again, if maybe here El Nexo can start their comeback and finally put the first map down onto their scoreboard side, or if it's going to be Gamers2 with another victory here and clenching out a 3-0 in the best of 5 finals of the HCL.
Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Here at the HCL we are starting with the last, potentially the last map. It could be, depending on how exactly El Nexo is going to play it here. Right now they're in the best of 3 series, 2 maps behind their opponent, and to the left side it is again the Polish team. It is Gamers2 with Leo from Korea on Uther, ADRD on Zibo. We have Shaichu on ETC, Nika on Vala, and Jove on Rega. To the right side of the map, Vortex for El Nexo with Sergeant Hammer, AlastOr on Tacita, Gran Paquete on Malfurion, Lucifron on Chen, and LoLvsxD on Tyrande. Game number 3 in a 2-0 lead for the Polish team. Poland is of course rejoicing in what we are seeing here tonight, but if you are from Spain then you are having a very, very unfortunate evening, because so far the Spaniards have not been able to do well. We're having a right-click build with Rancor taken on level 1 for Nika Svala. Interesting to see that. Nexus Frenzy is usually what people are aiming for if they go for this build. Right-click all the way. It of course exposes you a bit more to your opponents, since you can't rely on that composite arrow range that you see with multi-shot builds. Not 100% certain what we're going to see from Nika here, to be absolutely honest with you, but we're having a double healer comp for the Polish team this time, and already the healing ward shows nice move by Nika to move straight on top of that, so that there is no problem with keeping the healing ward alive. At the bot lane it's a 2 versus 1 with Shaichu going up against Lucifron and Gran Paquete. And well, this is going to be an interesting game, I feel. A double healer comp, we haven't seen that too much from Gamers2. Nice move here with the wall, a very good position. Vortex is moving just down, so there's nothing really that that works with that. ADRD is going up against that at the top lane. Still that battle between Jove, Nika, AlastOr and LoLvsxD. And it's the temple phase, of course, that's really going to matter right now. And those are the ones that are activating on the map as we speak. We're having already Gran Paquete and Lucifron rotating up to the top. And level 4 is in just a bit, hitting for both the teams. And just like, they just reached level 3 and now it's of course going to go for the temple battles. And let's see how that's going to work out here. With that double healer comp, we should have a lot of sustain on the side of the Polish team. Oh, nice wall there. Gran Paquete has nothing, of course, that really does damage against him in this case. And LoLvsxD misses the stun lock. We're having Vala not with the team just yet. The earlier level 4 for them. And, well, there it is. Let's fight for the temple. And finally Nika is appearing here. Manticore taken. He goes for full right-click damage build, at least so far. We might even see the Searing Arrows on level 7 taken. Both moving in. Jove needs to be healed, and he is. Having Uther helping him out immediately. And of course, by now, a triple healing ward taken. Oh my god, on the side of the Spanish team. El Nexo with a triple healing ward. And look, that battle! It just doesn't stop. There's so much heal for both sides that it's really difficult to drop a target. But it looks like finally the double healer comp is running out of steam. And the temple goes, at least for now, to El Nexo. They still are in a position where they have a slight lead in experience. The Spanish team, sorry, the Polish team, that is. The bot lane, or the mid lane, is being attacked right now. Jove is actually TPing back. The rest is starting to move up to the top lane. And they are trying to they might be able to take one of those heroes out. No, they're just like moving to the right. So it is the fight for the top temple that's going to be an important one. Oh, LoLvsxD, a lot of trouble here. And Leo from Korea might have a problem here as well, but Jove moves in now and he has the heal still available, goes straight to help out ADRD and drops his own healing totem here. So they need to make sure that they are moving. Oh, nice stun against the over, and the potential kill with the root. In comes Jen. He jumps in, but unfortunately for him, he can't really kill anything. But look how low the Polish team is here. This time we're having the Spaniards doing way better. And I guess they have to abandon the top temple, at least for now. Level 6 nearly hitting now for the Spanish team. Is this maybe the start of the comeback that we've all been waiting for? Do we get our final? The kill against Nazeebo. And it looks like they finally said, like, alright, this is going to be where we make our stand. So far, Nika currently, well, they're looking at level 6 versus nearly level 7, and so far the Spaniards are doing extremely well here. This is more like it. This is what we wanted to see when we went into this best of 5 series. So finally we have a bit of a fight going on. They go straight for the fort, and they might be able to get that. Lucifron jumping into the wrong spot there though, and he's not gonna make it, no. Lucifron is dead, so it's a kill for a kill. And that suddenly puts nearly level 7 into the grasp of the Polish team, and with them taking down the minion wave here, we are suddenly on eye level between the two of them. Both teams take a mule. We have one on Nazeebo and one on Malfurion. It is the right-click build with Searing Attack taken on Vala. We're also seeing Guitar Hero and Echo Paddle taken on ETC with Cleanse and the shield, protective shield, on the side of the Polish team on for Gamers2, taking it with Uther here. And at the same time, if we're looking at the build that we are seeing for El Nexo, Brewmaster's Balance after the Swift Reflexes. For Chen, we have Healing Ward and Battle Momentum on LoLvsxD Tyrande, and both teams are going straight for that hard camp. Are they going to time it? I'm actually not sure. This one was taken immediately, and usually you try to time it with the bottom temple, because we will see the top camp taken apart by Gamers2 right away, I'd say. And are they going to time it? No, they're just going to take it out too. You see quite a lot of teams actually like trying to just leave a hero here for a couple of seconds, similar to what you see oftentimes on Haunted Mines, and then time it so that you can take down the opponent's hard camp first, and then your own is going to push the lane. Mule already being dropped, but there's still 3 heroes up at the top lane, and it is Rhaegar that rotates up to help out here. They need to take this down, and they're going to try and do that. So right now we're having Yova, AD, and Nika in position. Shaihu is also there. All of them are suddenly up at the top, and LoLvsxD is helping out with another stun against Shaihu. He is not impressed. He's pulling a flash here. And yes, now they have to start and move down to the bot lane, of course, with the temple activating in just a few seconds. And it's 9.5 versus 9.5. So very, very close for the two of them. It looks very much like Stitch's plans, or ETC plans, on going for his own... yeah, looking for stage dive, and that's why he's at the top lane, trying to get up the experience so that they have the 10 a bit faster. And 10s are going to hit for both of the teams very, very soon. I guess it's going to hit for the Spaniards faster than for... no, it doesn't. There it is for Gamers2. Both of them have it right now. And, at least at this point, they could jump in with ETC, making its way over there. Barrel, Wandering Keck has been taken, Starfall as well as Napalm, and they're moving in. ETC jumps in, and Lucifron is activating the Keck, but they're going straight for Grand Paquette. They're trying to drop him. Healing wards everywhere. Nobody dropping those. One healing ward in the middle as well. AD, RD, and Shaihu need to move away, but the owl in the face is dropping Nazeebo. And here comes the stun against Leo from Korea. Suddenly it is El Nexo. The winds have changed once again, and the Spanish Armada is gaining some momentum here in this game. They're starting to take down the tower of the opponent, and with the temple in their hands, they are pushing the bot lane back. Lucifron, Vortex, and AlastOr, they are still there. 3 kills against 1. Only a slight lead in experience, but it's all that they need, at least for now. They're going for it. They're trying to take the game here. They're trying to take that fort, which is more important. And they drop Rhaegar, and they will drop the fort as well. Level 12 versus level 11. And heroes rotating over to the lanes to gather up the extra experience that is currently available there. Shaihu in the mid lane, going straight for it. And this is more like it. This is finally the fight between 2 of the best top teams that we're having in Europe. So it looks like maybe all that El Nexo needed was a bit of motivation. Up at the top lane, AD RD is starting to push that in. We have a mule already being dropped, and that could potentially save that tower. Well, I guess chances are slim, but it could happen. Siege Giant Camp taken, and in the mid lane now a push with 3 heroes against 3. A 13 talent, of course, going to appear very, very soon for El Nexo, and that will give them a lead in those fights. AD RD just moving back, and he does that in time. But yeah, is on his way back now, retreating from the rotation that we're seeing for Nexo. 4 kills against 1 so far in the game. Level 13 talent is there with a Shrink Ray on Tassadar, with also a Lunar Blaze already captured. Oh, Tyrande was taken out here. Leo moving in, caught that a bit too late, and Nika with the right-click damage, of course, still trying to do his thing. I guess he's going to become way more dangerous, especially when we're seeing Nexus Frenzy on level 20. And that is something that I personally would be very much afraid of if I was part of the Nexo team. If this is going to be a long and drawn out game between the two of them, I feel Vala with Nexus Frenzy and a right click build with Searing Attack, and Manticore is going to just go, like she is just getting those arrows out like a machine gun. Rancor and Nexus Frenzy, think about that. That is a bit of a nightmare for, especially if she goes for Giant Killer, and there it is, Giant Killer taken on level 13. Chen is not gonna have an easy game if this goes to level 20 on eye level. I mean, if it of course goes to level 20 and you're already 2 or 3 of your keeps down, then the chance that you're gonna make that comeback are pretty slim. But still, this could potentially in the late game be a very, very difficult match to win. Nice sprint here by ADRD. Very nice, well, actually very well done so far. And Shaihu at the bot lane is taking that temple, and that is putting pressure now onto, first of all, the tower. He might be able to get this as well, and they rotate to the boss. I like that move. Very, very good strategical move that we are seeing from the Polish team. Gamers2 moves to get boss and the bottom temple, and the only thing that we're seeing from El Nexo is top temple taken and a bit of help with them pushing in the mid lane. But that's a very, very smart move that we're seeing from Gamers2. I like that a lot. They are behind in experience, so they make the best of it. They're taking down this particular temple already and going for the tower as well. The boss is going to put pressure on the wall down at the keep. That's going to be an important one, but I love this move as well. I mean, El Nexo moves in and they see, okay, boss is taken, but we can steal the hard camp away. We can steal the hard camp away, and we can try to just like push that lane as much as we can, but you can already tell with the experience that they are starting to lose that lead that they had earlier, and they are ignoring the boss for now. Of course those towers are gonna wreck that, but still it's gonna put pressure onto the wall here. The gate is probably gonna be dropped. We have Stitches thinking about moving in and maybe doing a bit of pressure as well. He can always try and jump away with his stage dive, and I guess this is probably what's going to happen there. And the boss at the bot lane pushing, that is the cue for now the Polish team moving into the mid lane and trying to drop another keep. I really like the moves there. Even if they are not able to pull that off, they will still do damage, but oh, they need to make sure that they're not being caught out there. And they're moving back with currently 4 heroes, all of them on the retreat. Level 16 versus 15 for just a few more seconds. ETC at the bot lane is getting another tower. It's that split push potential that you have with an ETC that goes for stage dive, and they are trying to use it as much as they can. So, once again, 16 versus 16 is soon gonna happen, but it is that Siege Giant camp that El Nexo gets for free because they have the extra talent available. With Stone Skin, with Ranger, Pressure Point, Hardened Focus, and Second Strike taken. The jump in, 16 versus 16, double imposing presence is gonna be very, very strong, and of course by now we have also Blood for Blood on Vala. And Vala is starting to get extremely dangerous with those right-click attacks. A very, very difficult hero to take down. The attack damage is already at 170, and if you then have that attack speed there as well, then you are going to do a lot of work. Sergeant Hammer, of course, on the other hand, with 240 attack damage, but also a much, much slower attack rate. Oh, there we go again. Vala going for that right-click damage, or at least trying to. Multi-shot not really being all that important just yet for her, without that arsenal talent especially. You can't really clear waves this fast, but heroes are under a lot of pressure where Vala is starting to drop her skills. And with double imposing presence and double blood for blood, there's a lot of wiggle room, there's a lot of room to work with. Another temple already taken up in the mid lane. Yeah, is going straight for that. So with this one, there we go. Yep, there we have the temple already taken. And I mean, Stitches, sorry, ETC. Still a little bit weirded out that we, with a Stitches ban there. Not quite actually, but yeah, sometimes. There comes ETC with a jump against Vortex. Oh, and he's immediately being looted, but Luciphon jumps in with a Wandering Kick. Oh my god, and he gets himself into a really bad spot. Yeah, Chen in a pickle, and he goes down. We still have a lot of that. Vala is actually being eliminated here, but what a great ult by AD, already pushing everybody away and maybe even dropping what? No. LoLvsxD was low. but not taken out there. And they're still doing the damage, and you can really see how this battle is suddenly turning. The Polish team is doing a lot of damage, and with them claiming the temple now, they will get a lead. Nice dodge on Yobe. Really good juke against the stun attempt that we saw from LoLvsxD. It's a 4 versus 4 now. The temple nearly claimed, and Gran Paquete is so low. They're getting him. No, yes, no, no, maybe. Oh, it's the wolf who goes for it. The feral lunge, and that wolf, that's a real Khaldor right there. Dropping him without mercy, and once he saw his prey, he just went for it and took it down. Hamstrung and obliterated. Malfurion, that old geezer, is not making it here. It's maybe a bit like the old have to die at some point. And that's what, I mean, Malfurion's number was up a couple of times already, and now finally he bit the dust. But yeah, 5 kills versus 4, still a slight lead in kills for Nexo, but still, if you look at the game itself, and especially, of course, at the experience that we see there, it is suddenly, again, Gamers2. They are the ones who get ahead in the game, and well, on their side of the map we're having one of the hard camps spawning. Here's the Bruiser camp up to the top left, and as mentioned before, Vala is gonna do a lot of work once level 20 is reached. At this point she's on 28,000 damage, and we are talking mostly single target damage here, by the way. This is not a multi-shot build where you just like hit several targets, do a bit of damage, and you can get healed out in a few seconds. This is a right-click build where you go for Searing Attack Manticore and you just like try to take one target down and you go ham on that. That's exactly what they've been trying to do here. In terms of damage, of course, we're still having Nazeebo with a lot of work. Tyrande saying hi, I'm here as well, and I want to be mentioned too, and of course we're not going to neglect that lady. I mean, considering her age, she's still pretty hot, and she also has 24,000 damage, which is not too bad. Very solid and well-run here with another 14,000 in heal. But now that 18 versus 18 is being reached, let's see what we're gonna have over there. ADRD, Nika and Leo are starting to draw. Yeah, they actually think that they might set up a trap over here. Nah, they showed themselves. They showed themselves 18 versus 18, and yeah, that's all they saw. They were a bit fast. Oh, are they still trying to fight this? ETC, is he jumping in? No, ETC is not jumping in. He's not jumping in. Oh, they wasted Starfall. They actually wasted Starfall here. Here comes the Wandering Keg. That doesn't really do anything. ETC comes in. Here comes the ult. Oh, a really bad spot to fight. And down goes Vortex. The main damage dealer is gone. Sergeant Hammer eliminated. Oh my god. Chen is down as well. The Starfall was pretty much wasted. They thought there was an entire team fight. And then when Starfall was used, suddenly Gamers2 was simply moving away. Wandering Keg didn't do too much, and now they're down 2 heroes, and without the temple even being taken yet, they have 2 heroes moving up. They're just going straight for that wall. They want to have the keep now, and they are very close to level 20 as well. And this is bad news. Both temples are gonna end up in the hands of the Polish team. Gamers2, 6 kills against 5. They've done a lot of work here already, and this is just bad news if you are Spanish. Oh my god, Gran Paquete. If he moves into that, they're trying to get it all. They're trying to go for the boss. Well, they shouldn't play too greedy here. They have both of those temples, which is the important part. They're putting a lot of pressure onto the top and the bottom keep. They're going to drop one for sure. But over here, they need to be careful. Nice lockdown against ADRD. He sprints away. AlastOr has his ult, and oh my god. AlastOr gets healed, but that doesn't matter. Even with the shield that he just got, he is being dropped as well. Level 20 talent, and Vala with an Nexus Frenzy. Well, goodbye, Chen. If Vala gets once again the lockdown against Chen and just like starts dropping and firing like a machine gun, there's just no way that Chen is going to survive that with a giant killer talent taken here. There is just absolutely no way. Vala can dish out so much damage, and from a safe distance as well, since Nexus Frenzy also gives you a 20% increased attack range. 2 of the keeps are already down, and even the mid keep is suddenly starting to take damage here. They're moving in already. We're having Leo soaking up some experience. It's 20 versus 19, an entire level ahead still, and a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series for the Polish team already. If they win this map, then it's all over. Then the HCL winner of Season 1 will be Gamers2, and that's exactly what they want to achieve right now. And they are going for it. They're going for it, and they're rushing in to take Vortex down with the thrusters. He's able to dodge the Rain of Vengeance, getting that out of the picture. At the bot lane here, Gran Paquete is moving away. Uh-oh, he could have done it. He could have, oh my god. He nearly tried to get back to his teammates, but he couldn't do that just yet. ADRD actually is in a bit of a pickle. But here comes Shaiku. They're moving in. ADRD, well, so far they're actually in a great spot to drop Chen. And yes, there comes the damage, and Bala is just going for it. Pam, 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 full in the face, and she's hitting everything. LoLvsxD, even with the healing wards on the ground, doesn't stand a chance against the Analyzing Spirit. And guess what? He is not the only one. AlastOr is trying to get away there, and Nika, only right click, doesn't even have a lot of mana left. There was no potential for a wall, but oh god, Tacita gets taken down to 21 versus 19. They could just simply move into the mid lane and drop that keep, or at least that gate, but they don't. They move to the bottom lane, take the boss instead, and I guess with this one, they're then going to try and end it unless we see temples arrive on the map, and they do. And with the double temple taken, they are going to put them into a checkmate position. If you have a boss barreling down the bot lane and your keep is already gone, so the boss can attack the core straight away, and there are 2 temples on the map with you only having a single keep alive, then it's checkmate. No matter what you do, you're gonna lose hit points on the core, and that's exactly what they're trying. Level 20 is there, but what good does it do Nexo if they cannot move out? They need to defend against the boss. At the same time, they need to claim the temple in the middle, and they should take the temple at the top, and this is just not gonna happen. This is just not going to happen. This is a loss-loss situation. Just look at all that pressure against that mid-temple. That mid-temple doesn't even know what's happening. Like, from every single... This is an onslaught. From every single angle, the temple is getting completely demolished here. That keep is going to go down. It is already. The boss is starting to put pressure onto the core. And now both of the temples are going to help out with that. 90, there it is. LoLvsxD, he's dying. Vortex is going to drop as well. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Polish team victorious at the HCL season #1. Congratulations to Gamers2. They've done it. They've taken down Nexo with a 3-0 in the best of 5 series here. Congratulations, Napirdalai, and well done.
The game is over and the finals are won by Gamers2. They are the HCL Season 1 champion. Congratulations to the Polish team. An incredible performance by them. Nexo today just not in a position where it could threaten the Polish team. Very well played by Gamers2. Unfortunate, of course, for Nexo. The Spanish Armada has finally been sunk. And, well, we all say goodbye to Nexo and hope, of course, that they are able to pick up 2 new players soon to maybe make their way up to the top of the European rankings again. But right now, the Polish team are just a bit too strong for them. With the 3-0, Gamers2 is able to take down Nexo. They claim victory here and therefore also, of course, the #1 in the rankings at the HCL. Congratulations to winning the league playoffs. And guys, if you liked the commentary, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe on the YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet, and I see you next time with another video here on the Heroes of the Storm channel here on Khaldor TV. If you have any questions, then just write a comment in the comment section. That's it for the day. Have a good one. Bye bye.